Well, hello my friends, it's Shawn Petite and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back today to make some collage papers with collage papers. These are some of the collage papers that we did yesterday or the day before with our gel plate, and I've combined several different ones. So on this one I've got 4 different collage papers. I've just kind of cut some strips and put them together. And now we're going to just start building them up and making them a little bit more interesting, a little bit more cohesive, and yet still have some of that wonderful pattern and different things happen underneath and show up. So I'm using a couple of the new stencils in the shop. And that one that I just used is called Abstract Layers 2. And I'm just choosing some of my favorite colors and just kind of getting some initial fun marks and different things like that down. This stencil is Abstract Layers 1. And I love these stencils because they're just fun marks and different things like that that you can add. And one of the things that I love about the new stencils is that it helps spark your imagination when you're creating. And so just making some marks and bringing in some of my favorite colors, and then also trying to integrate some of the colors that are already part of some of the collage papers, using my charcoal pencil to just make some marks. And now I've got my brush out and I've mixed a little bit of, I'm using quinacridone magenta, a little bit of purple, a little bit of teal, yellow ochre, and some gesso, of course. And so I've just started making some brush marks, and then I'll add some gesso there to just kind of get some real artistic kind of swooshes and smooshes and that kind of thing. And just kind of try and blend in some of those brush marks. And again, this is kind of the initial first layer. We'll kind of smooth things out and make everything feel a little bit more cohesive. Right now we're just trying to get a little bit more interest and kind of bring in the colors that I was looking for. And I'm doing that without taking away all the fun design that we already had in our collage papers, because I love them. I was so pleased with our gel printing session yesterday or today or whenever you saw the last video. And I'll have a link to that. And again, just putting some teal down and some gesso and just kind of smooshing everything together. I am trying to kind of balance things out. So if I'm putting some color on one side, I'll try and put it on the other side, working in a bit of a triangle and trying to find colors that work well together. And there are certain areas that I like on the papers and certain areas that I don't like. And so I will add my paint and different things like that on those areas that I do like or that I don't like, and try to keep visible the areas that I really do like. And that's just kind of editing out your papers or your image or whatever you might be working on. making some scratches through my paint to just add some fun texture and interest. And the goal here is to make collage papers that we can then either use fully as a background or cut them up and use them in our pieces. So this stencil is the carved number stencil. It's not a new one, but numbers are a thing for me, so I always add some numbers on my collage papers. And they're perfect when you cut them apart because you might just get one number or something like that. But right now I'm just going to add some blacks and some more whites. This is the abstract layer 4 stencil with all the dots and the shapes and different things like that. I love this stencil. But black to me is neutralizing. It kind of pushes things back a little bit. It kind of brings it together, balances it out for me. And so I'll always add black in some small marks and designs. And so here's the other abstract layers 5 stencil. And then just adding some marks here and there. And of course you can add any kind of marks you want. Stenciling is super easy and fast, and that's what I love, especially when you're making collage papers. And so now I love how everything is looking. And I just want to soften everything down. And so all my layers are still there. I can see all the original collage papers with now our added marks. And now I'm using my brayer and a little bit of gesso and maybe a little bit of beige paint as well. And just kind of going over that to give it a real rustic feel, to kind of neutralize it and soften it down so that it looks very cohesive and all the layers blend together. It also gives it a real grungy feel, which of course I love. And then once we get those layers on there, and I'm adding just a little bit of raw umber. Look at that grungy goodness. All the layers still visible, all the goodness, but just really kind of making it grungy, and I love it. And I can totally see this as one whole, like if I were to put it down on a journal or something like that, and then create on top of it, like put a flower or a vine or something like that, and then a word. I can totally see that. And then I can also see these bits and pieces cut apart and put in the background of an abstract or something like that, and I love that. I love having collage papers like this ready. I love using combining the collage papers like we did, because the texture it's so good, because you've got the texture from the paper and then you've got the texture from the paint on each piece of paper. So yummy good. And I just love that you can see all the different patterns, the layers, all the stenciling and original gel printing that we did. It's just so good. And then just a little bit of grunge, and it is yummy, yummy good. Super easy, super quick way to combine collage papers and make them fabulous so that you can use them in other projects. I'm just adding a few pencil marks, and that is it. So I will have another project tomorrow, or whenever you see this. I did 3 projects. I did the original gel printing collage paper, this one, and then I make three actual 8x10 pieces with some of our collage papers. Oh, they're so gorgeous, showing you how you can use your collage papers in actual works of art. So thank you for joining me, and if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe and like, and stick around for check out the other videos as well, because they kind of all go together. And I will see you soon.